Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave today. Here I have for you a delicious white bass over this scrumptious chili garlic saute. It's easy, I promise you. I'm hungry, so let's get into it. So first things first, let's get down to the base of this sauce. I am using a chile arbol, okay? This is a little one that packs a little punch. You can certainly use a guajillo, I am tearing these words up, a guajillo chili pepper, and that is gonna be a little bit milder. I have here two pretty large actually, shallots. As I always say, a shallot is a cross between a garlic and a yellow onion. I feel like they had kids and that's what your shallot is. And then of course, some garlic cloves. Now I'm just gonna chop up my shallots and pop those into a food processor. I actually have an immersion blender and this is an attachment for it. So you can certainly use just your regular blender. You're gonna throw in those peppers. I'm only using 3. If you don't want something that's spicy, use a few less. And I gave myself 6 garlic cloves. I wanted this to be really flavorful. I like garlic and the onion. And this is what it should look like once you're done. Now, I forgot to include the chili garlic sauce. That's just an additional, flavor component. I only added about a tablespoon of that. So I just sped that up there. And so once you blend all of that together, this is what your sauce should look like. Now in a pan, after everything is blended, I put in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. There's no fat right now, or no oil really, in the pepper and onion saute that we just made. So we want to make sure we have our pan nice and well lubricated. I'm going to give this a nice saute. I'm keeping this down on a medium heat because I don't want these peppers and onions to burn, but I do want them to get soft and translucent. So you want to give these a good saute for about 5 minutes. Now after about 5 minutes or so, you'll see that your peppers and onions have gotten to be a little bit more translucent. We're gonna go ahead and throw in a tablespoon of butter, and I've diced up off camera 3 Roma tomatoes. Now if you have great tomatoes on a vine, you can certainly use that. If you have diced canned tomatoes, you can use that, but please use the ones that are in their natural tomato juice. Don't use like the stewed ones or anything like that. So the tomatoes are going to allow us to create the sauce. So once I give these a stir, you're going to see that I'm kind of pressing down on the tomatoes to release any of those additional juices. You want to make sure this is essentially the base of our sauce for the fish. So you want to make sure there's enough juice there to go the whole way. Add some salt and pepper to taste and let this cook down for about 10 to 15 minutes. So now on to the fish. So I have my fish here on a paper towel. I am trying to get all of that additional moisture out of there because I want to make sure that my seasonings evenly adhere. And when obviously I put it in the pan, I don't want it to pop back because of the moisture. These were previously frozen as well. So even if you're using fresh, be sure to pat your fish dry with the paper towel. So I went ahead and cut my pieces of fish in half, and I'm just brushing them now with some olive oil. You want to make sure that you coat this fish. This sea bass is a pretty light fish, so we want to make sure that it has enough oil in it so that it doesn't burn. To this, I'm going to be adding some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, and a little bit of my favorite blackened seasoning. I'm doing this on both sides, and be sure to press that seasoning into the fish. Now it is time to cook our fish. So in a pan, I have about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. I have this on a medium heat. Again, bass is a pretty delicate white fish, so I don't want the heat to be too high. Just cook these for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side or until done. Now I really love this recipe with these onions. So I have a yellow onion, a pretty large one, and I'm just cutting these into thick onion slices because we are going to grill those. Now if you don't have a grill pan, that's totally fine. Brush these with some olive oil, season them with some salt and pepper, and just place them down on a hot grill pan or a hot frying pan, and just let them sit. Now onions, when you add a little salt to them, they bring out all of the delicious sugars, and it makes it that nice translucent and almost sweet flavor that we know and love. And that is going to go right in between the fish and the chili garlic saute. So while I was cooking my fish and I did flip it, they did start to stick a little bit. So as you can see here, I added in an additional tablespoon of butter. Now, if you are watching your figure, as I certainly should be doing because the summer is quickly approaching, feel free to omit the butter. But I feel like unsalted butter added a lot of delicious flavor to this really, really delicate fish. Y'all, we are officially done. Go ahead and plate up some of that delicious chili sauté, top it with some of those grilled onions, and last but not least, those delicious pieces of fish. Thank you all for joining me, Sierra P, and until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.